Hello, everyone. Welcome to World Combat Sports. Tonight is going to be different. It's still going to be on combat sports, but check this out. It's going to be on a different demographic, geographic, whatever you want to say. We're going to take you to another land of combat sports, and we're going to tune in to the Dambe Warriors. Why? Because we're in COVID-19 and pretty much what American standard is when it comes to combat sports have all been shut down and isolated at the time. So being that I like to look at other combat sports in general and traveling all over the globe, so to speak, and seeing different type of sports, I want to, give a review and a screen share and tune in to the Dambe Warriors. Why? Because it takes me back to when I was in Iraq, and we had some time where we went to the sandbox that was on base, and we had some grappling, sessions, so we was just playing around, and it was quite dirty, man. Like the sand was pretty deep. So at certain points of it, he was just out there just going off feeling alone. But I remember this African guy telling me before we stepped off, we was playing around. So we was running the boots and utes. So I end up outrunning the guy. He say, "Yeah, you fast, but you say that's your maximum speed, right?" I say, yeah, sort of, that is about how fast I can run." He was pretty fast too. He said, No. I guarantee you, if you running from Machete, you would be much more faster. It was just funny as hell. And he said that shit with a straight face too. He said, "You run from Machete, it's much more faster." So, I always heard, the Africans that was in the service, they talk about how it is in the land and what they went through, how they came up. And I always respected that. They were the nicest people. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't the nicest people, but what they had to come from the dirt, and everything else they experienced is something that I couldn't relate to because I was born over here in a whole different environment and atmosphere. So I'm going to share this screen and tune in, for those of you that's stepping up to World Combat Sports, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me. We're going to start off with the Dambe Warriors. I just want to kind of ask you all, if you had the opportunity, to compete, once you see this, how they're competing, if you had the opportunity to do it, would you step up and do it? Granted that your face will be your face will look different. You probably lose some teeth. And would it be something that would concern you with going out in public if this was considered a regularity when it comes to combat sports? Like if we did this type of combat, close quarters combat, hand to hand, and just like the backyard, like street beefs and what we have down here, but it's pretty much organized. You know what I'm saying? This right here, in a sense, is organized with the equipment, so to speak. But when it comes to just straight blast on your opponent, teeth knocked out, no mouthpiece, hand wrapped in a certain type of glove or whatever, you know what I'm saying? With hardly any wrap or anything on it, you really getting hit with bare knuckles and whatever that wrap consists of. So I'm going to get to this. I'm going to take y'all through a screen share right quick, and we're going to tune in to the Dambe Warriors, and it's going to be pretty interesting. I've watched this, I started watching this around, I don't know, last year, early last year or whatever, I think. And it was quite interesting. I just look at it like if being that we talk on social media all the time, and if this was a type of organized fight league or something like that, would it be allowed over here? Would the people just sit up here and say, yeah, we'll allow this brutality? It's a bit barbaric. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at it, it's a bit barbaric, but the matches don't last a long time unless you are a warrior. Like, unless you're that warrior who's been through this before. And I'm gonna tell you, like, the guys that you see that's competing in this type of combat, they ain't trying to go out here to the club later on. Like, they ain't worrying about their looks, man. These guys look like they bout it. So let's get to this. Bout it. So let's start this up. And as you come in through the door, I appreciate it. I will try to acknowledge the supporters that's on deck. And let's kick this off.
As always, a pleasure running commentary for you.
And the commentator is pretty hilarious too.
First time appearance is here. Dogon Kada from Kebbi State, a man from Kulu, 27 years old on the blue jean, versus Shagonda and Kulu, the Grumada man, 26 years old from Kebbi State. Fighters take their position. Double lead from Dankulu there. Dankulu has one more Dogon Kada, misses trust, and Kulu slashes him again. Dankulu with a jab to the jugular. Dankulu grabs, delivers 1, 2, 3 lead hooks there in slow motion. Dankulu grabs Kada in for an uppercut. Someone help this guy. Is this a video game or what? Saved by the bell. Dogon Kada stylishly struts to his corner. This is for me an abuse.
So from what I see, okay, outside of the commentary, I see a wrap that extends from the knuckles all the way down to probably an inch away from the elbow property, right? So it seems like a little partial sleeve that's on there. I'm not sure what the sleeve is made of, and it doesn't look like it has extensive amount of gauze or hand wraps or anything.
Abusive relationship. Whoa. How do you allow that happen to you repeatedly? Okay. Opening scene round 2. Warriors take their fighting stance.
Look at the fighting stance, man.
The lead will quickly returned by Dankulu there. No trust again with no impact.
Right across the chin. Hardly any defense, man. Just swinging.
Uppercut there. Dankulu strikes a beauty hook on the taste cutter and another. The cutter staggers backward. Collapsing on the head. Coming rushes him just to
this man came out there and saved him from landing on his back.
The chants from the crowd is
good sportsmanship right there.
With every strike. The fans were chorus in there with every strike. Dogon Kada has been supported back to his corner. He attempts to smile, but you and I know he's still trying to get back to this plane after having his brains knocked to smithereens. Oh boy. Ooh, needed that stretch.
TJ Sports Talk, salute to you, man.
Very interesting match here.
Thanks for dropping in.
Beautiful game. The sport of Dambe.
The sport of Dambe.
Tell me Dogon Kada didn't allow himself get this loss.
I mean, if you had the opportunity, to square up with somebody, would you even take up a sport like this?
Just look at that.
Like, would you handle it this way?
If you've enjoyed
like, obviously, with the rap.
Drop a comment. Let us know if Kada needs to seriously.
I'm going to go to another one right quick. Obviously, with the hand wraps they got, it's going to be some damage. Real talk. I mean, it's going to be some damage, some big time damage. So, let's go to the next one.
midst of Dambe, salute all our warriors wherever you may be. Antonio Keleke with you again today for an exciting bout. Barbaric Chisco on your screen there runs towards the beating Kalangu drums to draw strength. These are the double membrane hourglass shaped drums hung from the shoulder of each drummer. Then the smaller Kutunku drums.
The video quality is subpar, but you can look at and see what's going on. They're going through the ceremonial ritual before they step into combat.
Where they are coming from. Look at that.
We don't do that over here. We don't play drums and everything and prepare for combat.
Where they are coming from, their wings, even a bit of.
Can you imagine, telling your family you about to go into a sport like this to have a bout or a match with somebody, and you're definitely going to come back looking different, feeling different. If that money that guy had stacked up like that, was that money, their currency that's over there? And I don't see a mouthpiece in these cats. You know what I'm saying? Them having a mouthpiece in. That look like a young Tito Trinidad.
Surprise. Look at the smile on his face. Dambe Warriors fans, notably to remember that this is a rematch.
Both of these guys look like they fast. Younger guys, lighter weight. Look like they're around.
You saw the tightening of the knotted fist.
Look like around middleweight.
They both kept stalling the fights.
Junior middle.
Today, the referee and umpire, I believe, is not having any of that. And
I might be wrong.
To make sure they battle it all out there in the arena. Interesting.
Going through the ceremony, I mean, going overseas and everything and seeing people with ceremonies and their culture to respect the art of combat is just amazing, though.
Hopefully, this turns out to be an electrifying,
especially in Thailand,
for the spectators.
Japan.
Referee checks on him.
Philippines.
Are you ready? Step into the arena and take on your opponents.
Dambe Warriors. It seems like it's going to be fast-paced, punishing.
Their sweaty bodies. How about Sekou, Chisco salutes the four corners of the arena.
They're barefooted on dirt.
Circles his head, cleans his face.
And the pants they're wearing is just like something you'll see, on Americans over here wearing to the club. Like, damn. Like, it's nothing special.
They salute each other by touching their cara.
Okay. That's called a salute, what they're doing before they go to war.
Discipline. There's honor among the Dambe Warriors. The umpire has a message for the crowd. I think that is why they are stalling. Nonetheless, I think based on the fact that they are two well-known fighters, the crowd and the umpire and the referee will give them ample time to perform all the rituals they need to do.
These guys are fighting in gear that they wear over here on their leisure. They about to throw down with it all. Like no special trunks, no nothing, man. It's just wild. They respect it though, all the ritual.
Are they ready? Nope. Whisper each other.
Salute again.
Salute the crowd.
They seem real calm.
Are they ready? Touch each other's chest.
Yeah, I try to look at
traditional stance.
as much combat sports as I possibly can, man.
Stretched. Knee-jerk position.
Shout out to DBMA in the building.
Sizing each other up. The break formation again.
He's heavy on the back leg. The one in the red is heavy on the back leg.
Are they determining how this fight will go or what? Guys, stop talking and do some battle out here.
I'm about to fast forward. I like how he said stop talking. Let's go. Man, I'm about to fast forward this because I can.
They charge at each other with overhead punch 1, 2, 3.
These guys are just throwing punches like
Baron dashes a back hook as well.
They throwing caution to the wind, man. They just reckless about it. Reckless abandonment. No defense. Just straight up punches to the head. Pugilistic has to play a role. CTE has to be freaking evident. These guys have no. I mean, they throwing with some freaking bad intentions.
Cisco has better reach of the two fighters. When he landed that lead hook,
and the glove is to protect the fighter, right? But these guys have such a hard sleeve on. It ain't shit there to protect nothing.
Straight to round 2. Alberton's a twist and a good overhead punch again. It's always easy for them to start with an overhead punch because they in the process defend their faces. Both fighters are grappling and trying their best to make an impact.
Hitting behind the head. And, I mean, those punches come down the way they are. The way they wind up from the back and swing to the front. It's a high end velocity on those punches, man.
This same fighter, Shago on the side and Dambe, he steps in between both of them and disrupts the attack. Bago Chisco is even displeased. The umpire and the referee, you could hear them over the loudspeaker. They reprimand his action. He did the same action in the last meet-up between these two fighters. Who is putting him up to this? Like, seriously. Straight to round 3 and Chisco attacks with one lead hook while Abba scampers of same thing. Abba tries to return the favor, but nothing happening there. Both fighters are holding on to each other. Watch the replay. Quickly, let's see what we missed there.
I wonder how long is the life expectancy in this career, in this sport for them competing.
We'll continue to round 3 there. Abba trying to block each other's face to make a move. Abba uses his leg in an attempt to trip Chisco over. The crowd sees it, and I don't know if that was
so you can kick
the outcome. If they were against
I think you can kick. They're doing more talking than anything. I thought this was going to be an exciting exchange between the two. They're doing more talking, like they're trying to talk about, negotiations or something. Man, I'm on this side of the street. You're on that side of the street, man. We need to, get it together. They're up here negotiating how they're going to fight one another.
They also have taken advantage of this rematch too.
It just seems like they perform a lot less than what I'm seeing in previous Dambe matches.
Drop your opinion and reactions in the comment section.
And you know what? I'm about to curve them right quick because they did more talking than anything. They sitting up here thinking it's a game. Like they're up there barely even landing punches, man. They underperform from what I expect from the Dambe Warriors, from what I've seen out here. So let me try to find another vid of these Dambe Warriors, something that you can actually learn from and be like, damn, these guys are extremely tough, Man, come on with this, man. What you doing? Let me go through here. Let me check this one out. It looked like it has some excitement to it, some action, some intensity,
Upwork has the world's
some
largest
volume
network of independent professionals
You know, some violence, destruction, affliction.
It's like having a top-rated developer right here. When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how.
This is Dambe Warrior 63.
And sealing with tape to ensure
Now you get a up close view of their hand being wrapped, man.
Welcome to the greatest
it seems like his string,
martial arts in the world.
You know, wrapped with tape
Dambe Warriors.
From the knuckles and then on the wrists. Well, I wouldn't say the wrist, the forearm properties.
Martial arts right now, anywhere on the globe, across the world, blowing up on the screens. I'm
gonna fast forward this, people. Get down to business.
One of the few non-northern fighters.
These look like they might be light heavyweights. All these guys are young in their 20s, man. I know if they was freaking over here in the 20s, man, we wouldn't even be thinking about no damn combat like this. Especially you don't have no dental work. You don't have no dental insurance.
Being acknowledged by the crowd there.
Let me get to the fight. Let me get to the fight.
51. Warriors sizing each other up. Let's hope Chindo Black combines all his experience to become.
They get very low, man. You know, some of them use that lead hand for defense, but the deadly sport is centuries old with the aim
steps in the middle. Scribbles and writes on sand, sweats to the heavens, and declares the fight reopens. They charge at each other and it begins. Jabs and lead hooks coming through in quick succession.
Oh, they only landed some hard shots. Woo!
Very good.
They landed some hard shots.
Jabs struck Chindo well to make him stagger.
Man, they are really throwing down, boy. Those are some hard shots they landed.
Something spectacular is about to happen.
All right hand. All right hand. You know, only one hand is allowed for striking. Extreme amount of damage. Finally, the guy go down.
Chindo Black screams down at Alhazi, who is assisted back up on his feet by the ref.
That's intense, boy. That's intense right there.
The crowd is up on their feet. The fans have lost their mind in the frenzy as usual.
Look how bloody he is. He's just acting like it's another day. You know what I'm saying? He's busted up.
Electrifying.
I mean, these guys are in their 20, man, getting busted up like this. I know it happens in boxing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like the scar tissue. If they stay in the sport long enough with that type of wrap on their knuckles and forearm, is just
back hooks relentlessly. Overhead punches. Chindo Black's.
A lot of the punches are not flush, but the ones that are, you know, I'm pretty sure it can be felt, especially when you're on the jawline, the chin.
Scream at his opponents were on the ground there, like I did it finally, or maybe did Alhazai sleep? Well,
it's beast mode, yo. It's beast.
Wow. I would love to hear from the Dambe Warriors fans. What did Alhazai do wrong to have lost what seemed to be a good start that was actually seeming going in his favor?
I can't imagine what the medical is like. Like, who's fixing them up after the fight? Who's treating the wounds? Do they have to pay for that, or is it free, or whatever?
To get, you know,
because I'm pretty sure it's plenty of cuts.
It was a beautiful atmosphere today.
That was one of the better matches, to be honest. That was one of the better matches that's out here. I'm gonna go back to an old school that was pretty damn good. Like, these guys look like they've been at this for quite some time. I'm gonna go to the top 10 Dambe knockdowns. I'm just frolicking through the YouTube
largest network of proven independent professionals.
YouTube slides.
Having a go-to graphic designer right here. Oh, I like the green one.
Hey,
When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how.
I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit because we pretty much know it's all about the pain with them. And what weight classes are we talking? Are we talking about weight classes here? I don't think so. Man, 3 crushing right hand. Woo! It has to be some broken jaws in here. Come on, man. He's gonna punch him when he's looking away. Damn. What are you doing? Are you just gonna walk away like that? Woo! No hesitation. These guys are all about straight brutality. So I guess the first one that lands in a knockdown loses. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, I'm not seeing constant, get back up like you see the damn 8 count or whatever over here. Great timing. Great timing. Man, it's chaos in there, man. It's chaos. They were to tie up the lead hand and just throw down. Low crotch stance. Oh, he face palmed him. Cracked him. Ooh. They can't be in the same weight class. It ain't no way. There's no way they're in the same weight class. It's an amazing sport. I'll tell you that. I don't think too many Americans want to participate in that, man, because you're guaranteed to get cut, teeth knocked out, everything.
I can't really get close because of the security, but this building is.
So I'm gonna fast forward through this. These are 30 to 35. Majority of the other fighters was in their 20s, mid 20s. They look like around the same weight. The one on the left with the yellow, squares on, he got more like a wrestling crouching stance to him. And if you see, sometimes it's right to right, but this one is right to left. The one on the right using his left hand and the one on the left using his right hand. So you have the one on the right using his left hand. The stare down itself seemed intense to me. You got to constantly keep your eyes on the opponent in a different way. Shit. Quick. I don't see them throwing little inside short, hooks or anything like that. Most of their punches is like straight, looping, and with a lot of intensity on it. What's going on, Chris Ray? Salute to you, man. Let's see you in the building. I have no idea, man. How much money they get paid? It's obviously in their currency, so I have no idea how much they get paid. I just thought the sport was extremely interesting. Can't imagine how many teeth are laying over there on the ground. That guy probably seemed like he telling them, okay, appreciate it. Let me get back to this work. So the guy drinks the water, and you know what we use in a spray bottle, they just spit it out, you know, in their fighter. Much different than over here, man. Seriously, much different than what we would do over here. If you did that over here in America, man, it'd be hands on sight, gunplay, nunchucks. Man, people would be upset if you did something like that. But that's a different country, you know what I'm Let's go action, fellas, action. I guess you have to take up a different strategy if both of the striking hands is on the outside. It's easy to get countered. A lot of fainting going on. Not sure what happened there. About to show it in slow motion. Cracked him in the jaw, the chin rather. Let's go to the next one because that fight, you know, wasn't much action. I wouldn't say it was wasn't that entertaining. You have to look at all aspects of, you know, them being patient, not going in there just getting dropped. Plus, there's money on the line, so we don't know.
Alarming video of a violent attack in Brooklyn. Police say a group.
Yoruba made his first appearance just recently, Dambe Warriors 56 against Shemsu. And there on his knees, kneeling down. Another.
Did we see this already? I think we saw this already.
Scribbles and right. Alhazi to comfortably sit on the sand. Chindo Black screams down at Alhazi, who is assisted back up on the
Yeah,
seat by
we've
the
seen
ref.
this already. So let
Look
me
at
go up
that.
here.
The crowd is up on their feet. The fans have lost their mind in the frenzy as usual. Without a care that he's bleeding with.
I will search for new footage. See if I can find a new slideshow of the Dambe Warriors. Why is it taking so long? I am looking for the Dambe Warriors. The Dambe Warriors. I am looking for comeback. Man, I've already seen this. Man, they putting money on all. Like, what's this about? So I'm gonna put in Dambe Warriors. Let's go to Dambe Warriors. I think we've seen this already. I just want to give a different view of combat sports, man. While we have downtime, with the COVID-19 isolations and shutdowns and everything. And it's not the only time, I'm going to go here and search several combat sports. I'm definitely not going to sit up here and blend in and talk about the same subject the entire time that we're in-house isolated.
Very touching, showing sportsmanship. Okay,
they look well matched when it comes to weight.
Like this is going to be a walkover fight.
This look like it's going to be nice.
And straight on, the referee becomes the fighters to stop doing the dress he has and go straight to it.
They look like two strong fighters here. Ain't playing around. Is that a scar on old boy's neck?
Referee urges them on to go on.
It looked like he has
good punch from both of them. Good punch from Ambody.
Straight punches, man.
Strong impact.
Lighten no boy up.
From here. Good punch landing on Maye's face. Maye keeps throwing these punches.
He measured him real nice with that lead hand. String is coming apart though.
So the fight has to be put on hold while he ties it up. Let's see some playback of those.
Looked like he was hitting him in the freaking
you can see Ambody's
throat.
Punches make quite the impacts. Look at that.
Looked like it was right in there in the throat, man.
He's just swinging left to right. I mean, he shouldn't embarrass the House of Iowa today. These guys are legendary in terms of retaining glory for their houses.
Hey, Chris, if you got the guy in the tan winning, you might want to hurry up and go get your money back. Sure. Unless you've seen the video already.
Tries to grab his hand. A good punch from Maye.
Nice overhand. Another one. He coming back.
Oh, look at that. I mean, it's becoming quite comical here. Oh my God, look at the playback. Good fist
solid
from Maye. He misses the second, but the last one touches him slightly on the face. And Ambody's
different approach this time from the one in the beige pants, man. Different approach.
Getting interested in this fight. Okay, good punch.
Man, no defense, man. They just landing heavy shots.
I don't think Maye can even believe that.
No defense.
He landed 2 good punches on
They don't give a damn about defense. Not today, tomorrow, next week.
I think the confidence smile has come back to Maye right now. He's the one having the last laugh looking at that fight. Apparently, but I mean, the fact that Ambody did not go down means it's probably going to be called a draw. That's that for that fight, and we move on to the next fight. The next fight is the House of Kudu represented by Aminu Shagon Mokwa, versus the House of Arewa, represented by Baragon Pijo. It's worthy to know that Shagon Mokwa is not new to this arena and very, very tactful fighter. So Shagon Pijo is beckoning to Shagon Mokwa to come towards him. Baragon Pijo is working on the flanks, while Shagon Mokwa is not falling for that trick. Both fighters trying to be tactful. I mean, that was
They putting their head down and just throwing.
Good
Still punishment though.
The crowd loves to watch. They like to see two fighters stand it out and fight.
I mean, that's just straight up mano and mano. You throw, I throw. You swing, I swing. Head down. Who would let somebody, put some water in their mouth and just blow it on them like that, spit it on them? Man, people be losing their mind over here in the U.S., man.
No impactful punches are happening right
Bruh,
and
what you doing, man? That shit nasty, dog.
They size each other up, looking for any slight opportunity to make a very impactful fist bump to the face.
It's a tough sport, man. Very tough sport.
So that's what the crowd wants to see. Guys, we need to speed this fight up. The crowd is
the dentist must make a lot of money over there, for real. And is it quality dental work? Like, these dudes obviously are losing teeth.
Good job from Mokwa, but it misses Shagon Pijo. And then they go at it again.
And they just throwing down.
Jabs, uppercut, fist bump, jab, uppercut, block.
They just going into the rhythm. And whoever will breaks first, that's who's gonna win. I mean, that's who's gonna lose. No mouthpiece.
Running to the ring. Look at the playback. Baragon Pijo is doing quite a lot of defense, while Shagon Mokwa is trying to get as many points.
Broken knuckles, wrist.
One will just take down the opponent.
Can't imagine everything that goes along with it.
Apparently, that fight is looking like a draw. Oh my God, look at that. Shagon Mokwa is bleeding to the face. And that would look like a draw again in this match. What is happening today? The crowd wants to see someone go down. I hope this last match is going to give the crowd what they really want. Someone who is going to be knocked out. And the last match is coming from the House of Gurumada versus the House of Arewa. And Shagon Gurumada is representing Gurumada, while Arewa is represented by Shagon Abu Malum Fashi. And the fight kicks off immediately. No time to waste. Let's see what happens here. The referee beckons on the fighters to go for it. No time to waste. Shagon Abu from Arewa is quite popular. We've seen him in 1 or 2 matches in the past. Quite a tactful player. Look at that stay. And he throws a good jab, but he misses Gurumada fighter. What happens now? Good punch from the Arewa fighter. He misses. I think his hands are short. His reach, the Gurumada fighter has a better reach, but the Arewa fighter has a better leg work. I think his smallness in size gives him the flexibility and speed and agility required to dodge blows coming from the Gurumada fighter. Let's see what happens now. The crowd is getting impatient. They really want to see a good, tough fight. These guys really need to go at it, or they're going to call this fight off. The referee urges them on, go for this, go for this. So let's see. The crowd wants to see a knockout. They want to see a knockout. Let's see what happens next. The Gurumada fighter is sizing. The Arewa fighter, Shagon Abu, is moving on the flanks.
Come on, y'all. They're not trying to fight.
Small loophole to make a good, quick punch. And let's see what happens now. And it throws a jab, but
it's still a tough sport.
Go for this.
It's still a tough sport, though.
Gurumada fighter doing good leg work. Oh, look at that. Shagon Abu,
wow.
The man from Arewa, falls to the ground. But I don't think it was due to a punch. I think he basically slipped. He threw a punch.
It was from a punch.
The jab was weak, and I think with so much energy,
it was from a punch. What are you talking about?
Means,
a right hand.
Gurumada wins the bout. The man from Arewa gets
he got crushed.
Support from the other fighters, while the Gurumada fighter goes to his handlers to have a chit chat and pay his respects. There will be better days to come for the Arawa fighter. He doesn't look defeated.
Man. I'm going to an old one because this seems like it's the same type of sport, but I'm trying to see if it's in a different area. African Warriors Fight Championship Battle of, oh, it's still Dambe highlights. Cool. Hey, it's almost like a ball on their fist. It's almost like a ball of string combined with some type of material. All I can say, I'm pretty sure it feels like a metal beam going up across your head. Cracked in the mouth. Back of the head. Man, these guys can't have long life expectancies staying in this sport. Punch to the back of the head, forehead, chin, jaw. I wonder what's the distance gauge. I mean, what's the how low can you punch him? Like, I wonder, can it be on the belt line? And that was very limited, like, action. That was very limited. I think I'm gonna do one more. I really want it to be a good one though, but let's go to the tradition. So maybe they can talk about a little bit of history about.
Upwork has the world's largest network of proven independent professionals. And if you need a team of designers and devs all in one place, Upwork has agencies too. When you need in-demand talent on demand,
I need to hear all that. Dambe is a form of boxing popular among the Hazao in Nigeria. Hazao. Miami in Tijuana. Look at the scars on that man. No stitches, just heal. Just heal, you know, badges of battle.
I started fighting in the year 2002. I am 24 years old.
All right, Chris Ray, take it easy, man. Salute to you. Thanks for dropping in as always. Appreciate the support.
I came to fighting through the late Garba Dan Gakawa. As a child, Dan Garba loved me. And when I used to enter Alwata House, I see people fighting with my own eyes. And that is why I started fighting. Fighting impressed me. And then there is gain in death.
Damn. That's a lot of string on there, boy.
When I'm ready to fight, I go to my teacher to pray for me. Against who I will fight.
That dude look like a warrior, boy.
They give me something to complement the prayer.
Been in some battles.
Whenever I come to fight, I feel like I have strength, heightened strength all over me.
Man,
I
they
make a
just
lot of
throwing
money
down.
fighting. They used to pay 36,000 naira before. Now they pay 48,000 naira. When we fight, we wrap our hand into clothes. We try to hit our enemy with that hand until he falls to the ground or he stops fighting. It's not just about the money. I've always desired to fight, even as a child. They always went to report to my mother that Sharif has
Come over here to the U.S. The U.S. is all about money.
I was really stubborn.
They gonna have like 15 different excuses. Damn, look at the bruises, the wounds, the scars.
My friends that fight that I know of who have died are up to 20 or 15. Even the one we fought with was lucky.
Them battle scars are badges over there.
He got healed, and now he's condemned.
Damn, he said now his friend is condemned because he's ill.
I'm not afraid to die. I must die eventually. The moment I decided to take up this profession, I decided to trust in God because this fight is very risky.
Man, that shit is wild right there. Very
After
intense.
1 or 2 years, by God's grace, I want to stop. I intend to get married eventually.
Pretty interesting. Pretty damn interesting, to say the least. So Chris Ray said 200,000 Naira is approximately 56 US dollars. Okay, that's good to know. So they get a pretty decent amount for where they're residing, but if it was to be over here, there's no way that, I don't know, man. I don't think they'd go through that type of brutality just for that amount of money. It's just a whole different custom over here. It's like if you don't have to fight in that particular style for that little money, then it's not going to happen. But of course, times has changed from the Kimbo Slice era where they was in the backyard and everything. Let me get back to, let me change this back. There we go. So people, I want to switch it up. And, I seen the Dambe Warriors. Of course, you're not going to recognize any of the fighters over there, but the style and the art itself is pretty amazing. You know what I'm saying? If you really look at what they have to go through, how tough you got to be, man, the after effect, like what are the repercussions, consequences that's internally to the injuries that they go through each and every battle. It's just something I found fascinating. It's so many other sports like that in different countries. It's amazing to watch sometimes. You have to think about it. Like they leave that place wounded. They leave cut up, bruised, hurt, all that. So my curiosity is, how often does this occur? How often it's a schedule, the fight schedule. And also, what is the levels? If you win a certain amount of fight, do you come back in there and the pay goes up? Do you fight to a certain level? Is there a championship somewhere or just bragging rights as far as being a warrior goes? I'm just curious to know what's that all about. Furthermore, who stitches these guys up? Like, what are the doctors like? The dentist, like, do they just have to let these wounds heal without any stitches or anything? Because if so, they come back, that's going to be scar tissue that opens up again. And it's not like the equipment is going to get any better. So it's a tough sport, man. Salute to those guys, man. Dambe Warriors, man. Salute. It's a tough ass sport for real. Yeah, but DBMA in the building, Chris Ray. Appreciate y'all for stopping through, switching it up. Kind of give a different perspective in covering combat sports. It's just futile to me to talk about the same thing every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about, covering, boxing and MMA and everything. But we all know that majority of the fights have been shut down. Even on the Ultimate Fight Championships, the UFC, they've been postponed, so to speak. But when they took it down from 100 to 50 people gathering to 10, it's just no way that you can have 10 people in the arena when it comes to teams, the trainers, the fighters and everything, and then the referee, the judges, and everybody else. It's just not something that can go down like that. It's unique. It's different. Real talk. It's very different. So I'm definitely going to explore other combat sports. I'm going to stay over in Asia and definitely come back on here tomorrow. I'm not going to get into grappling yet. That's something that I would like to get into, but more so, I want to kind of keep it in this aspect of combat sports, one we're not really familiar with, one that's a bit more unknown. So you can go ahead and watch these videos and kind of get a better understanding and what some of these other countries go through. I might try the Muay Thai. I'm gonna look up some Muay Thai videos. Hopefully they have some on the beginning of how they train these kids for Muay Thai. I've actually been to some schools over there in Thailand. I actually went to the Philippines and saw the gyms over there. What those kids have to go through in Thailand and training for Muay Thai definitely would be considered abuse over here in the US. Real talk. Like, those kids are super tough, man. And they placed in situations where that's their way of living. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put you in a sport. It's brutal. You learn the hard way. It's no babysitting. And then you go on the career. If that's for you, you start up your career in Muay Thai, man. Brutal sport. I love it. I love Muay Thai. And I think a lot of mixed martial artists, and, if you plan on transferring over to mixed martial arts, that'll be a good sport to work on, certain type of techniques, kicks and everything. Those knees, man, you would be amazed on how many different ways it is to throw a knee and, to throw a kick. Back in the day, how karate, you was throwing high kicks and roundhouse kicks and everything. Man, times have changed so much. The way you throw a kick, like you can break somebody's leg down throwing low calf kicks. Like Justin the highlight reel Gaethje, he doesn't throw high kicks a lot, but the way he gets on the inside and chops his opponent's legs down, throwing those low calf kicks, oh man, it's brutal. Edson Barbosa is another one. Jose Aldo, when he was coming up, Jose had some lethal kicks, man. Some lethal kicks. Who else has some pretty dynamic kicks to their arsenal? I just have to think of it. I'm talking about the kicks. Oh, Marlon Moraes, man, has a pretty solid switch kick. I know he knocked out Aljamain Sterling with that kick. And what's his name? Jose Ramirez? I know he fought Ramirez, knocked him out, clipped him on the top of his head, some with the same switch kick. The dude is a problem. Who else has some solid kicks in there? I would say Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, but it's not consistent. His wide stance, very high level athlete. But I'm talking more so those brutal leg kicks, man, just to the low calf, to the thigh area. Let me guess. Let me go through my mental archives. Who else has some brutal kicks, man, that'll make you say, ugh, shit, Damn. Ooh. Let me see. Who can I say in certain divisions? Can't say him. Nope. Let me see. Some people, according to their opponent, they find that they can't take kicks that much. They look very good, but that doesn't mean they use those kicks on a regular basis. I think Paulo Costa has pretty decent leg kicks. Jeremy Heathen Stevens, I think he has some pretty decent kicks. I'm trying to go back into the lighter weight classes and see. If you go into the women's side of the house, I know Valentina Shevchenko has some pretty damn good kicks. Her kicks are freaking solid. Who else, man? I know there's some people up there in featherweight and lightweight. It's not Conor McGregor, Khabib, nope. What was the fighter? I'm trying to think of this fighter who was it's on the tip of my tongue too. It's on the tip of my tongue. He's from Sweden. Let me look him up. I know he fought Robbie Lawler. Let me take this remove from screen. This guy had powerful leg kicks, but sometimes his reckless abandonment with going on the inside, just trying to knock his opponents out. It didn't work out too well for him sometimes. But I'm about to give you his name now. I always knew he was gonna throw down though. Tyrone Spong, he had pretty decent leg kicks when he was fighting over there too. So let me go look up Robbie Lawler. This guy had some crushing leg kicks, man. Ruthless Robbie Lawler, and his opponent that I'm speaking of is Melvin Manoff. That was his name, Melvin Manoff. Man, Melvin Manoff. If you ain't never got built up with anxiety watching somebody fight, Melvin Manoff, you know he was going to throw leather and he was going to kick the shit out of your leg, try to damn rearrange your kneecaps, man. And shout out to Evan Tanner, man. He passed away. He went through so much, man. He had a big win at one point. And then, you know the situation with him. I think he ended up dying in the desert or what have you. I'm not sure how, I forgot, but I remember him having that big win. Let me go to his record. His last fight, Evan Tanner, his record was 32-8, believe it or not. Man, his last fight was 08 against Kendall Grove. Wow. But I think the fight I'm speaking of, he had several. He defeated Phil Baroni, Robbie Lawler, and the last one, the win he had was Justin Levin's triangle choke. But the one I'm speaking of, I think when he returned to the sport, if I'm not mistaken, But yeah. But I'm thinking I'm gonna stop it right there, man. I'm gonna come in with a different sport tomorrow and everything. They pretty much don't have no ETA for this COVID-19. I know the CIC, he came on with the task force, the COVID-19 task force, and he mentioned some things that people probably perked up about. You know, primarily the stimulus and sending out some money. You know, he said he was going to send out $1,000, and then Bernie came behind him and said he was sending out, 2,000 to the people. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out here that need money during this crisis. It is, man. If you think not, it is. It's a lot. And I do feel bad for the individuals that have kids that's real young. I know someone posted a thumbnail with this lady who was buying formula for the kids. She was buying a whole lot of, and I'm pretty sure it costs a pretty good penny too. But the person was like, if I have to do all this, well, you have to, because if your baby need to eat, you just can't feed them PB&Js, man. If your baby young enough and they still on formula, you got to go buy that formula. It's people that have babies. They'll go up there and clean the shelves, and you have to drive 15, 20 miles out. And hopefully you can go to store and get something. That's bad. I didn't think the stores would be that cleaned out. But yeah, the Walmart, even the lower scale grocery stores, all cleaned up. And then even the ones that cost just a little bit more, like Publix and stuff, they have shelves in there that's cleaned out. People don't care. But what I don't understand is, what is this fascination with toilet paper? Like, why are people getting so much toilet paper? Is it something that they can put in their food? Is it if you dip it in freaking vodka, you can swallow it and it expands and keep you full? I mean, is this some type of ancient serum or ancient, I don't know. I mean, I'm just curious to know why people are just infatuated with swiping toilet paper off the shelf. Like, just because you're going to be in the house, unless they got like 6 or 7 kids, I can understand. But why are you so infatuated with toilet paper? Seriously, because you need food for toilet paper. Like, I mean, you need some food in there, man. In Japan, they have the toilets that actually you sit down and it sprays, and clean you up while you're sitting on the toilet. But yet you still have to clean up and everything. But I'm just saying, that's Japan. That's the amazing part of Japan. Like, a lot of their bathrooms, man, you have to squat. If you out in town in Japan and not on base, you have to squat and take a crap. That's Japan, man. Shout out to Japan. Real talk. Great memories over there. Genki desu ka? Konbanwa. Yeah, but that's pretty much, my concern when it comes down to this, man. It's good they have kids doing online curriculum while they at home. That's always good. I know, some people are gaffing it off or whatever, but these kids still need to work outside of school. If you didn't hear, I know it's a lot of other people that have it. It's up to 200,000 cases of COVID, right? But NBA players, they just, they recently said Kevin Durant had it. So I think the Professional Basketball League has around 9 players that have it now. And, I'm pretty sure they're going to get taken care of. Then, some people was making a big deal about Idris Elba. He was up there with his wife and he tested positive for it, but yet she hasn't got tested yet. And she was right there with him, close. So a lot of people are talking about that, saying they should take it serious. She shouldn't be that close to him. She should get tested. I understand all that shit. But look, I've been through some pretty rungy places while I was serving. like we ate and didn't wash our hands. It wasn't a place to wash your hands. When you're in the field, you're not going to the local stream and washing your hands before you eat. You're not going to the local creek. You're not going to the use the water that's made for drinking and just sit up here and take a full bath. It wasn't no freaking hand sanitizer back then that we was using. We was just going in there eating. When we was in Korea, on these ops over in Japan, it wasn't no freaking hand sanitizer when you was in the field for months at a time. Times has changed, man. I understand, the diseases have increased, but when it comes time to recognize that I've been in some worse places, some dirty places. You didn't get sick or anything, but whatever. M. Greg, what's good, man? Yeah, I like Japan, man. I miss the friends I had back over there in Japan. Man, miss them dudes. Bike life is different over there in Japan. Bike life is different. I'm gonna see, can I load this picture up? I used to ride with this Japanese group over there. There's only 2 Americans that rolled in there. In order for you to ride with a group of Japanese American, you really have to know what you're doing. They just don't let Americans come ride in their group. And also, these guys be rolling. I mean, we was gone. And that's how I really learned how to ride faster in the curves. It's because the streets over there are much slippier, slick than over here with the American pavement, like pure concrete. Over there, they have cement and freaking coral mixed in the streets. So their streets are a lot more oilier, they have oil films on them, and it's just slick. So you have to buy the GP Pro compound tires to race over there, man. The tires, like a back tire, if you're running 180, 55 or 190, you're looking at, depends on how you want your setup. Depending on how you want your setup. If you ride a straight line, you really don't need a wide tire in the back. But if you ride the curves and everything, you need a good soft compound tire. Man, them tires was running like 300. And then if you go riding a good, 2 weekends and wear out the corners, the ones that truly rolled, the corners of your tires will wear out before the middle part. Like you see a lot of guys doing burnouts and stuff. Nah, not with the true ones. Our corners used to run out before the other tires. So we was like, man, we can't even go up to the tire come in. We had to order a tire from Chaparral back then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't imagine how many tires I went through over there. Sometimes if you had a special event coming up, or you was heading to a different spot, you would just bow down and go spend yen. You'll go buy the tire in yen. And the Japanese tires was way more expensive than ordering from over here. Seriously, it was just crazy. But sometimes you had to bow down and go get a Yokohama tire. Anybody who rides know about Yokohama? I mean, that tire is just crazy traction, but very expensive. Very expensive. I love the grip though. Once that bad boy heat up, loved it. What y'all got going on, man? I tell y'all at work. What's good? Government CDC paying people $7,000 a pop to test to cure before expanded release of full inoculations. They acting like they're getting ready to force people to get those shots. Damn. Most of the time when they basically give you a shot of anything, it has the same thing they're trying to cure you with, just like the flu. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like giving you it so your body can combat it. You know what I'm saying? It just don't go away. That's why some people get the flu shot, they get sick, and then they heal. Because basically your immune system has now been subjected to the shot. That's why a lot of people, they just don't get the shot because they understand what it's about. I'm not sure what this is going to consist of, but I can only imagine what that shot consists of. You know what I'm saying? Dang, museums in DC closed. Speaking of DC, man, you know, I mentioned this before, but I remember as a young buck, man, I was currying messages over to the Pentagon. Like sometimes it'd be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, man. I worked shift work the first 12 years of my Marine Corps. So I used to go and curry a message over to the Pentagon. And I remember walking through the Pentagon by myself, waiting for the officer to come back. You know, if we had a message strictly for this officer that was on deck, we had to wait till he get there. That means you go wait out in the van, you walk around the Pentagon or whatever. That's way before the the terrorist attacks, all that. I used to be able to walk around the Pentagon, man, halls and look at everything they had. I mean, it would have been amazing if we had mobile phones. But phones back then was like you had it in your car. And then the phones was like this freaking big. They didn't have video or none of that shit. I can't imagine, man, if I had video, what I could freaking video when I was waiting to deliver that message. But man, I used to walk. Man, I walked for miles in the Pentagon, waiting for that officer to come in. Miles, man, just miles. Currying top secret messages. And then, you know, you get lucky. You get to go down there during the day. Man, you see so many important people, politicians, generals. It was just amazing, man. I learned so much now going over to the Pentagon. The eating area over there is just unfreaking believable. But the museum's closing. That's a big part of DC. I know that for a fact. Now, what they said about FEMA, man, FEMA is in all regions now. They said FEMA is in all regions. I haven't actually pulled up to one of them, but they say FEMA is in all regions. So FEMA probably had to increase their staff of volunteers, and individuals local to that region is probably on deck and really don't have a lot of freaking experience handling things like that. I have been looking at the news and seeing people volunteering to do that work, but you know what I'm saying? It still requires you some knowledge on what you're trying to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they can't do it, but when you work with FEMA, it's a hard ass job. Like, especially in this particular, if it gets worse and people are put on like, I don't know, like we hoping down here we don't get put on curfew. You know what I'm saying? But they talking about it. They talking about curfew. But I just don't understand the curfew though. If what is the curfew going to do for the virus? Like, what is curfew going to do? Like, it's supposed to be less. It's supposed to be more active at night. Like, why give people a curfew though? If the establishments are shut down, what is the curfew is going to implement? Like, what restriction? How is that going to be conducive to anything? People got to be in their house, isolated. I get it. But having a curfew, what is that going to do to isolating anything at nighttime? If the establishments are shut down and the people are just driving around doing nothing, I don't get it. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on with this, man. I know a lot of people hoping those stipend checks come out. And, you know, like I said before, we will see if it's just all talk or these checks are going to start coming out to people, because give or take, at the end of this week, heading into next week, it's gonna be tough for a lot of people. Kids at home eating up the house. You know, if these kids only knew what bologna was, so you know they need to get their kid used to bologna. Kids this day, they won't even think about frying bologna. If you just get some bologna, goddamn fried up, put a slice of cheese on there. You know, they got low fat cheese this day and time. Throw some cheese on there, put it on there, have a sandwich. Man, you say bologna this day and time, kids don't know shit about bologna. You say bologna, like, what's that? Oh, it's just meat, grinded up with every goddamn thing you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? That bologna is grinded up with freaking everything on the animal. So, I mean, or you can get PB&J. You know, you get the peanut butter, jelly. You're still going to have to buy bread. Still. And then these kids, they don't know how to freaking make jelly last. They'll sit up there and dip that knife down there and spread jelly on there and have like a freaking half an inch of jelly off the bread like it's on the commercial. Put a whole lot of peanut butter on there and stack that. Man, these kids don't know, man. They don't know how to conserve. They don't know how to conserve, man. Splitting a hot dog in half, throwing in there, frying it, taking it out. You got two halves of the hot dog, put it on there, you know, make your sandwich or whatever. Throw some lettuce on there, you know, just be creative. No, they don't know nothing about that. M. Greg said, get used to bologna and government cheese. Yeah, man. And government cheese is still in existence. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough. And it's not low fat either. Government cheese is a block of everything. You know, milk. If your kid is freaking lactose intolerant, government cheese is something they would not be able to indulge in. Guarantee that. Greg say, I love me some peanut butter and jelly. DBMA said, that's why we're trying to enforce curfews. We're not going to want no one telling them to go home. If by chance curfew is enforced, man, I hope it's something that is fair. You know what I'm saying? Remember all the Walmart closes and flipping them to concentration type posts. Yeah. Walmart has the space for that. I was just surprised to walk in Walmart, man, and see all the shelves cleared out. And then when you ask someone who worked there, you're like, well, when y'all going to restock? We don't know. They got the attitude like the people that's coming in there are doing them an injustice by cleaning out the place. Like a lot of these people don't know any better. Like, check this out. A lot of these people who are experiencing a crisis like this, they don't know any better to the point where they just fall in the lead of a lot of other people. It's some people calling each other up and they be like, hey man, you gonna go to the store? Or so, you know, they calling their girlfriends up. Hey girl, you want to go to the store? Blah, blah, blah. Like 5 of them go to the store. They spend like $400 on stuff that's going to be there when this situation lifts. You know what I'm saying? They buying an excess of stuff just because they feel that they need it. They're not buying the essentials. They're buying things that they feel that they're going to need, that they really don't need, just because they've never been in this situation before. You can't sit up here in the civilian population and practice pre-planning such as this in a global crisis. You can't do that because people got to work. You know what I'm saying? They have to pick their kids up from school. It's just so much going on with them. They don't have time to practice for this. So that's why you see people in here fighting over toilet paper, fighting over water. Seriously, all they know is filters, and more filters. Alkaline water, spend $3 for a gallon of alkaline water. Man, it's crazy what's going on. Oh, they never reopened the ones that closed? Damn, it was like that. I never seen that though. If they shut down some Walmarts for command posts or whatever, I never seen that. You know, when I seen it, they actually reopened, they restocked them, and they open up. But I've never seen that. I mean, what state is this in, though? What state is this? What state? Because it ain't down here. I can tell you that for real. It's not down here. Like, what state you talking about? In some states, man, Walmart is just not as popular as it is in other regions. You know what I'm saying? People want to go to Costco's with the other place they have up there and spend all their freaking money. I can imagine with Costco's how much money they done built, you know, people out of. People just went up there in Costco's and just freaking cleared crates and crates of stuff, and they bill when they rung up that bill, the bill was like $800 and something. They're up here putting all that, that nonsense on credit cards and stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna stay on here too long, man. I got to go ahead and take care of some stuff with the little man. Yeah, I'm hearing people talking about martial law, man. I hope not. That'll be bad, especially down here. Martial law would be tough down here. This is a gun-toting state. This is a gun-toting state down here. Martial law, you need to make sure you understand what you're doing and not just come up here trying to rob people and set them up for failure. But I'm about to bounce, y'all. I will be back on here tomorrow. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Follow me on all social media. Subscribe to the channel. Share the content. Your support is absolutely encouraged and appreciated. Until next time, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.